here in Morocco.
This is where the craziness starts.
It sure does.
Straight away, there are definitely some interesting shops and some interesting food. Oh!
This is very intense.
Hello!
Sorry, I have to keep sniffing this.
This is the famous camel burger.
Good morning, guys, from FEZ here in Morocco. If you haven't watched our previous videos, we're currently on a 17-day road trip with G Adventures. We left Chef Shawan yesterday for the 5-hour drive here to FEZ, and we didn't get to explore too much of it yesterday. FEZ is actually the oldest of the 4 imperial cities, dating back to the 8th century. We're actually staying in the new town, which is like any normal city, and of course what we really want to do is head to the old part of the town, to the Medina, to check out everything that FEZ has to offer.
It's a very beautiful area, the new town. You've got this boulevard lined with palm trees, you've got fountains. They call it the Le Champs-Élysées of FEZ, and we're actually staying right on this main pedestrian street boulevard. But like Molly said, you're here for the Medina, and the perks of this trip with G Adventures are that you get these free days to explore whatever you want to do, so you're not always following around a tour guide, and that's why we've done the 18 to 30 trip. But you also get them nights out, and when we arrived last night, whew, I'm paying for it a bit today. We went to the British pub and the Churchill pub in one of the hotels, and it basically turned into a bit of a nightclub, and crazy. Even our guide Mohammed turned up. The walk to the Old Medina from the new town really isn't that bad. It must have taken about 10 to 15 minutes in this 40-degree heat, but the Old Medina of FEZ is actually the largest and oldest in all of North Africa. And most people think that it's actually just the small, windy little alleyways, but it spreads a lot further than that. We've now just entered through one of the many gates to one part of the Medina, to head through another gate to head into the main bit of the Old Medina. We're going to get lost today. This is where the craziness starts.
It sure does. This is the Blue Gate, and it is essentially the portal to the oldest part of the Medina, which is called FEZ El Bali. Apparently it's blue because the colour of FEZ is navy blue, and on the other side it's green for the colour of Islam and for peace, and it's a very beautiful gate actually. It was built, I think, in the 1900s by the Spanish.
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous. We're getting into the craziness.
9,000 alleyways.
Are we even gonna, we're not going to see
Maps doesn't work.
Google Maps doesn't work. How are we going to make it?
We're in the sights, the smells. It is time to get lost in one of the 9,000 alleyways. This is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it is one of the only urban-free areas in the world. In this part of the Old Medina, you won't find any cars. All you'll find is donkeys and carts for transport. Straight away, there are definitely some interesting shops and some interesting food going on down this part of the Old Medina. That right behind me was a camel's head. Right there, we've got chickens. Oh, and even pigeons.
This is very intense. We certainly found the craziness. We walked through the Henna Souk, which is one of the oldest marketplaces in the Medina. It has all sorts of traditional handicrafts. We saw the Berber weaving, and now we've made it to the Plefarine Square, which gets its name from the traditional coppersmiths. And as you can see, or maybe hear, there are, can you hear that? That is them doing the craft still in the square today.
Incredible!
Hello!
Hello! Shukran, shukran. It's so interesting seeing all the different parts of Medina. You've got the craftsmen that have been doing their crafts for hundreds of years, and then you've got the food. Oh, we've been blocked off. You have the food right at the beginning. It is definitely an eye-opener. You walk in and you're seeing camels' heads, you're seeing chickens being... The best way to say it is cooked in front of you is probably the nicest way, but I've found what I've been looking for in the souk, and this is, I don't even know if I'm allowed to touch it, this is the FEZ, so the traditional hat, which you think would be from FEZ, Morocco, but apparently it's from Turkey, but I really feel like I need to get a FEZ in FEZ. There's literally a donkey blocking the street. That is the mules. That's why there are no cars. Because you use a donkey or a horse of the Medina. Instead. The mules of the Medina. But there is a funny smell in the air, and that is because when you follow the little alleys all the way to the end, you will make it to Chara Tannery, which is essentially where they dye the skin of animals to make leather. It smells strange. The guy wouldn't come out the shop either for me to buy his FEZ. I'm really confused. Maybe I was trying on his actual FEZ and it wasn't for sale, but you can smell, oh, the smell in the air isn't the best. There are these tanneries, and there is literally a donkey blocking the road for us to get up here. There's hundreds of terraces down these little alleys, and they all try and get you in and say they have the best terrace, but we actually read that number 10 has the best terrace, so that is where we're going. It stinks. Hello. Okay. The best terrace? Yes. The best? Okay. No problem. Shukran. Thank you. Where are we even going? Shukran. Shukran. It smells good. From London? Oh, it smells good.
London, British.
Oh, it helps. Sniff it. It takes away the smell.
Good. Yeah, it does take away the smell. Oh, in some parts it is super pungent, but this is the terrace of number 10. You basically get taken in up some stairs, handed some mint, and then you get taken onto this rooftop terrace where you can see these men hard at work. Apparently it's one of the hardest jobs in the world. It's very labour intensive. Sorry, I have to keep sniffing this because strong is intense. I can't believe they use pigeon poo to help stretch the skin. So the first stage is that they use ammonia and pigeon poop to like stretch the skin, bleach it, and then they go and use all the natural colours. Like, I think they even use saffron and they use mint, but I'm using it
It's 40 degrees, they are out in the sun, covered in pigeon poo and animal skin.
And we're up here moaning about the smell.
If I just pushed you right now...
Yeah, I would fall into a pot of natural dye and pigeon poo, so don't push me, please.
It's crazy to think that this goes back nearly 1,000 years, and they do this for 6 hours, 6 days a week. Apparently it was like voted the second hardest job in the world, and I feel bad just sat up here watching them. It looks crazy, it looks insane, it's intense, it's hot, but the finished article, the finished goods at the end are what it's all worth in the end. And keeping these traditions, I have never seen anything like this ever anywhere in my life. It's one of the most crazy spectacles. You just want to sit up here for hours and just take it all in. So Aziz actually works in the tannery. How is it actually being in there in the sun for 6 hours every day? It was hard work.
It's hard work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ali's showing us one of his videos, and he is famous. He's been on TV.
CNN, right?
CNN he's been on. So you're famous, Ali?
Yes.
He's famous.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I love this. The delivery man is actually a horse. Some of these alleys are crazy and they are so thin.
Cheers! We have finally escaped the bustling streets of the Old Medina and we've come into Cafe Clock. We actually went here in Chef Shawan and we didn't realise there's like one in every major city, which is very good because you're walking in the Medina in just this tiny little alley. It was there, Cafe Clock. We've come up and I have got a Medina smoothie, which is basically a fig smoothie, which doesn't sound too appetizing.
But is it nice?
I don't know, I'm hoping it's going to cool me down. It's kind of refreshing. It's different. I don't know. It's kind of refreshing, and we've got the best view ever. We're looking out over the Medina, looking at the madrasa, which we're actually going to go to in a bit. But the main reason we came in here is because their speciality is the camel burger. I'm a little bit nervous.
Go.
Thank you. Wow. Camel burger.
Famous camel burger.
Thank you.
And also the veggie pastilla.
Shukran. Thank you. Whew. Okay, I don't know how to feel about this, but who am I to judge what people eat? This is the famous camel burger. Okay, it looks amazing.
I didn't know camel meat was red.
No,
that's one thing.
I don't know if they've mixed it in with herbs and spices. Apparently,
yeah, look, it's like red.
it's pretty red meat with herbs, spices.
Go on, get to it.
Cheese,
this is what everyone wants to see.
Mayonnaise. I don't even know what this is on top. Hold on. I'll eat camel, but I won't eat tomato. Let's do this. Loads of cheese.
Go, go, go. Big bite.
There it is. Look, you can see.
Yeah, so red.
It's so red. Oh, never mind.
Here you go.
Let's do this. Camel.
Oh my god, you're giving me like so much stress.
It's quite chewy.
Is it?
Yeah, it is very chewy. It's nice where it's mixed in with the herbs and spices. It's not bad.
What does it taste like? Does it taste like beef?
A chewy beef, yeah, a really chewy beef. With the sauce going on in there, the cheese. It's a good burger. The still looks amazing, but you've stolen my camel.
Yeah, I'm very, very...
I've got the hump with you. It's terrible.
That was awful. It's a very, very strange... Right, can you see? It's a very, very strange taste and texture.
I've changed my mind. It's more like a lamb.
It's more like lamb.
Kofta or something like that.
It's not as chewy as I was expecting. Like even the guy working here said it was chewy. It's it kind of has like a gamey taste to it. Like I don't know. Like it's a very strong red meat taste. But I'm very pleasantly surprised. Like I really wasn't expecting that, and I didn't expect camel meat to be red.
Shukran, thank you.
Beautiful. The camel burger definitely grew on me after a while. I think the taste is a really strange one. It was very similar to buffalo. It's not something I would probably try again, but it was a very cool way to try it. I'm glad we finally did, but we have paid our 20 dirham entrance fee and we've made it into the Bu Inania Madrasa, which was a school for Islam up until the 1960s. It actually is used now as a mosque too, so you do have to be careful of the timings because just behind me here is where they will pray, but it's beautiful. It's like an unbelievable courtyard with the most amazing detailings all the way around.
And it's nice to go in here. It's one of the only places that non-Muslims can go into.
One of the only places we're allowed into, and I'm glad we've come in. It's beautiful.
That was so pretty, so unique. If you didn't know it was there, you would definitely miss it. And the fact that it's one of the only Muslim places of worship that non-Muslims are allowed to visit, you need to add it to your FEZ itinerary. But we are now waiting for a hopeful sunset because we've heard just outside of the main walls of the Medina, it's the best sunset spot in the whole city, in the best riad in the whole city. Welcome to the sunset spot. What a place this is. This is Riyadh Fez. It's a 14th century palace. It is unbelievable. It was owned by a wealthy family and it is just remarkable, amazing. The detailing, everything about it. I mean, I would very happily spend the rest of my life standing right here. And this is just the courtyard. We're going somewhere up here. It's just so beautiful. This just keeps getting better. What a view. Best say this is very fancy indeed. We've made one small error. The sunset doesn't set in front of us. It sets the other side, so we're going to miss the sunset, but this is beautiful. The grandest riad supposedly in all of Fez, and the beers are actually really reasonable. They've been the same price of any normal bar that we've been to so far, but you get this 5-star rooftop experience looking out over the 9,000 alleyways of the Old Medina. It's very special, and the beer's not bad either. Fez. You are an extremely interesting but beautiful city, and we loved exploring it. Wow, what can we say? Last night, that beautiful rooftop, the contrast is crazy. You can go to that unbelievable riad with one of the best views, and then just down below you have the very raw and intense Medina, as you would have seen walking through. Can be quite intense, but that's all part of the fun, learning new things and exploring new places. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. The smells questionable, especially up at the tannery, but it is something that you do have to do. Very unique. That was our free day with G Adventures. I love the fact that on the tour you do get the opportunity to explore by yourself, as well as having things included with others, which we will be doing in the next few days. So super excited for that. But
tomorrow we actually have a street food tour around Fez on another free day we have. So let's try some Moroccan food. I'm sure it's going to be good. We'll see you in the next one for a street food tour in Fez.